So let's say you're stuck in the house, you don't have a gym membership, you don't have any gym equipment to work out with, even if you wanted to, and you wouldn't know how to use it anyway, but you want to get started in taking care of yourself, you want to get started in some resistance training. Well, that's why I designed the beginner home bodyweight workout, and you can check it out at naturalglambodybuilding.com.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Mountain. Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, do you have to use a belt when you're lifting weights or bodybuilding, basically, okay? So Garrison Bai, one of my Patreon supporters, he brought up a good topic in the Facebook group. What is everyone's experience with using a belt, and why do they use a belt or why don't they use a belt? Now, I'm going to share my experience on why I do not use a belt for bodybuilding reasons, okay? The reason why is because I spent a long time using a belt, and I found that the times that I did forget my belt and I went to the gym, it's almost like my back was stupid. It didn't know how to fire the proper muscles and fire the core properly, so that way I could avoid injury when I was in the gym. And then I started to notice that I was getting lower back injuries anyway, even when I was wearing a belt, squatting, deadlifting, doing whatever. Because the thing is with wearing a belt is that it teaches you to push the stomach against the belt, therefore to maintain that lordotic arch, right? Which is the position that you're supposed to maintain in the lower back when you're squatting, deadlifting, or doing bent over rows and that sort of thing. So the reason why I stopped using a belt was I wanted to find out if it was more effective for me to fire the muscles in the lower back and get that Christmas tree effect, you know, when you're on stage and you're posing and then your back's all lean and shredded and everything. And I also did not want to have a dependency on a belt every time I went to the gym, because the one time that I did forget, then of course, you know, I would be risking a back injury because my back was stupid at that point. It was uncoordinated. It didn't know what it was supposed to do. So I didn't want to create a pattern of dysfunction by teaching my core to fire improperly, because obviously I'm not wearing a belt 24/7. Most of the time I'm walking around and I have a naked back. You know what I mean? There's no belt on except for the belt to hold up pants. Belt to hold up pants is good. But I didn't have an actual powerlifting belt on. So a lot of times people use a belt because they may have a pre-existing injury, and I'm okay with that. Like, that's fine, I get it. Sometimes it's the only way that you can train. I also get that. And the times that I would say that you should wear a belt is when you are doing a 1 rep maximum lift or something like that, or if you're training like a power lifter in that way, where you're using maximal poundages all the time. And once you get closer to the meet and you're going to do a 1 rep max, you want to calibrate yourself to using a belt once you start to do that 1 rep max, right? You want to get used to the pattern of firing the lower back a certain way and using that support of the belt. So it's almost like a different type of coordination. But that doesn't mean I think that you should always lift with a belt throughout the year all the time. I think there is a tremendous amount of benefit to not using a belt and to learning how to properly fire your core and your abs and your lower back. Now, this is my experience. It doesn't mean it has to be yours. I do know some people, they used a belt all the time and they felt like it was fine and they didn't have lower back injuries and whatever, right? So I'm definitely not trying to push fear into you by any means. But one thing I did notice is that it wasn't as necessary a piece of equipment for normal training as a lot of people were telling me. And I did notice that when I was using it all the time, I'd experience the splint effect, where, you know, when you splint your arm after you break it, or you splint any sort of area where you render it immobile, well, what happens is the muscle atrophies in the area, and you do not build the muscle in that area because that area is now splinted, right? It's not moving. It's not moving or functioning the way it's supposed to. So although I agree with using a belt, if you need to avoid injury, because the risk of injury is extremely high, such as in 1 rep max lifts and that sort of thing, I think you'd be better off in your normal training environment to not using a belt or a powerlifting belt. That's my opinion. You can do whatever you want, and I'm not saying you're wrong in doing what you find is right for you. In the end, always listen to your body and always find out what feels right for you at the time. So this is just my experience. Take it for whatever you wish. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just a guy in the woods posing in front of the camera. Mountain. So I hope this helps you in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. All right, where's that frickin' Sasquatch? All right there, buddy, time to come out. Time to come out, buddy. Stop being all pissy and scared. Frickin' furball. overgrown Wookie. Eh? Eh? Yeah, I know. It's scary facing a mountain, I know. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you, don't worry, big guy. He won't come out, he's shy because the camera's running, so I gotta shut the camera off.